Hello, it is Miss with Being Creative with Miss, and we are going to do a super cute project tonight. It is going to be our last winter project for a while. So it's like one last project, which we've had snow this week. It's super cold. It's definitely still snowman season. I always feel like Valentine's Day is very much snowman season, and I love to do Valentine snowmen. So a lot of you already got this stencil, but I had not painted it yet. But I did not want to pass it up and not paint it. So it's also, you can definitely use it geared as a Valentine snowman. But like, I would take this to my winter craft show, and will take it to my winter craft show, because people just love snowmen, and it fits all things winter. So it doesn't have to be Valentine at all. So this is the snowman that we're going to do tonight. So a lot of you, like I said, got that stencil. Hey, Angie and Charlene. So it's just really, really fun to add like the little elements to it. I painted it with some pink and red. Definitely looks wintry. Like that background is very just wintry. So it doesn't, like, if I saw this at a craft show, it wouldn't scream Valentine's Day to me at all if it wasn't displayed as Valentine's. So I think that it is a perfect, like winter snowman. So I love this as a new paint color that I have. It's called Hazy Horizon, and it's folk art, but I really liked it. So that's what I did the background in. This is just a piece of some wood in a frame that I had Mark cut me on the laser. So I don't have any, like, I can't tell you where I got, like, you can't get that somewhere. I just had Mark cut it for me. But what we're going to do it on tonight is a piece of wood that I got from Hobby Lobby. And I hacked my stencils up a little bit. I usually don't do that, but I really hacked them up. I cut them, and I was like, why am they're fine. Obviously, I wouldn't have done it if I couldn't use them, but I wanted it to fit what I'm doing tonight. So I'm like, it'll be fine. So I cut it. So anyway, but I really like it. So let me see if I can hold it up closer for you. But these are 3D, and of course the string is 3D. But this is what I'm going to do it on tonight. So this is just a board from Hobby Lobby, and it looks like this plain. So I bought 2 of them. So it just says plaque with bead hanger rectangle, and it was $7.49, and then it was 40% off. So that's not very much. I don't really think all the time their stuff is super good quality, like like sometimes I've even had stuff warp, but because this is framed and stuff, I thought that it would be really cute. So I bought that, and that's why I got my stencil up. But I just took espresso and a baby wipe and stained it. Like, it took me probably less than 5 minutes. I just taped this off and stained it, and then I dipped my baby wipe in water and just went all across the beads. Like, it was super quick to do that. So so it went from, like natural to this. And I just ran tape really quickly, painter's tape around the inside edge, and did the back. But that's all I did. And I used that Hazy Horizon for the background. So that's what we're going to do it on tonight. All right. So there it is closer. I don't know if I should have done this. I stained this frame, and then I took a palette. I used espresso, and then I dipped it in my baby wipe in a little bit of black, and went around and like put some dark in places in it. And then, like every now and then I just can't resist. I have to get out that palette knife, and I just love to use a palette knife, so I had to just, kind of distress that up a little bit. So I don't know if you guys think it looks awful or not, but that's what I did. So, of course on this one I did not do that. So anyway, that's that. So I trimmed the stencil down just a tad. So I don't have as much wiggle room, I guess, as far as, you know, like extra room to make sure I'm not getting down on my stencil. But if I want to use it again for something bigger, I will just run a piece of painter's tape along the bottom to give me more of a border. So I was not worried about it at all. I'm like, I will make this work. And, but I want to make sure when I put it on there that I'm giving myself room for my hats. So, so I'll probably have to trim, along that too. So here I go. Like, this made me crazy. Like, I was doing this, I'm like, what are you doing? But I'm like, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. So that gives me plenty of room. Alrighty, so now that we've hacked that to pieces, we're ready to go. I keep feeling like I'm not completely in the frame there. So, anyway, you like the frame? I do too. Even if I did have to mutilate my stencils to get it to fit, but I think it's cute. So, I'm just going to start tapping this in. I was doing it a little bit hard there. I'm afraid I'll knock this thing out of its frame. So I'm just basing this in, and it'll take a couple coats. Okay, so there is the base layer, and we got that done. Now, I used Cardinal Red and Blush Pink was the two colors I used for my snowman. Of course, you could do it, you know, just do whatever color that you like that floats your boat. Anything will work. I actually had started to do some navy, like navy and gray, and I thought, oh, that's kind of depressing. Those colors are what I've. So I just decided to do these colors again because I like. I'm going to take a little bit of gray and fill in first on, let me see, on these red parts, just so it covers a little bit better, hopefully. So I'm just going to tap in some gray. I'm sad that Joann Fabrics is closing. So, if you have one in your area, is yours closing? They announced it here yesterday. I don't know if they've started any sales or if they're even liquidating. I don't even know. I was curious if like anyone else had theirs sounded. Anyway, back to Joann's. I'm super sad about that. I like Joann's. I like it a lot, actually. So, and I will say, I hate to say this, because I don't know. I always hate just saying stuff because you don't always know all the circumstances. But every time I'm like, when I do go in there, it's like I love going in there and looking around, and I like a lot of their seasonal stuff, and I really do. But I kind of at the same time kind of dread it because I feel like it takes forever to go in and out and get checked out. Like wait for someone to come to the register and then wait to get checked out. It just takes a really long time. I've even ordered online and just gone in and picked it up, but you still have to, sometimes it still takes a while. But I am sad about the whole closing thing. I really didn't really want them to close. So, all right, now we're gonna do the black. So is it staying? Oh, Deborah said her Joann's already closed. They're closing 500 stores. Well, ours is one of them. So is it staying connected and stuff now? Does it seem like it? I hope so. So I just did black. I'm trying to get this done so we can get to the really fun parts. I'm going to tap a little bit in there to make sure I'm getting down in that fine line. Okay, so while that's right there, see, I think that's the only thing I need my black for. So I'm going to wipe that off really good. I'm going to try to wipe it off really good. And then I'm going to go in my white. Well, no, I think I'll just get another brush. I was going to try to not have to wash another brush. But I'm just going to go in white. And I'm going to shade a little bit on that side of the hat. That snowman hat. I think I need to get rid of that. So I'm going to just put some white on there and wipe it off really good. And then I'm just going to kind of tap around on that left side and put a highlight there. And we'll dry brush that as well, but I'm going to put that on there for a little bit heavier. Let's see. Do that. And then with the black that I said I didn't think I'd need anymore, I kind of have wiped that black out of there a lot, but I'm going to go ahead and kind of darken some of the edges on the black, or on the red, just kind of trying to darken that a little bit. Oh, I think I have too much gray in it. I put gray in it. I shouldn't have done that. Oh, I lost, oh, right there it is in front of me. I'm gonna go back in over that with gray. I didn't think I needed the black anymore, and I added the gray, so now I gotta add more black. You can even go in the red a little bit if you want, but I was just trying to, I like kind of doing that with a stencil. Kind of just putting a little bit on the edges, and then it saves me some time. You know, like when you go to float, you don't have to float as much, color shade so much. Okay, so that's what we did there. All right, I think we have everything on that layer. We have another overlay for that. I just cut it off. So the bottom part of that is our banners, but we're not going to use that right now. So I had cut that off. So now we'll go to the second overlay. So I'm going to tip this a tad just so I can see and make sure I have this right, and don't get it off kilter here. Make sure I've got it where it's supposed to go. I think I do. Alrighty. I haven't seen anything like, I mean, yesterday was the first I heard about it, and I haven't seen anything about like if they're like liquidating and all that stuff. I just haven't, but I'm anxious to see how that all shakes out, and I don't know. Shiloh, our youngest son's wife, they live in Columbus, and she said their Joann's was closing. And I even order, sometimes when ours is out of stuff, I'll put in an order to the one by her, and she picks it up for me and then brings it to me. But she said the one by her is closing too, and I was really surprised because, of course, they're in such a much bigger area. But I guess it is what it is. But I hate it. I hate it. I just feel like, I don't know, sometimes I feel like just a lot of the good stores are closing, and I just hate it for them. I need to dry this. Hard time seeing. I'm getting a glare up there, and I can't really see good. Oh, I just looked over there and someone, Sherry said they filed bankruptcy for the second time. Can you do that? I guess. I thought if you filed bankruptcy, then you were, I don't know, I didn't know you could do it again. I guess that means you're really in trouble. I don't know. I've got my heart up there too dark, I think. I guess I'm glad we have a Michael's and Hobby Lobby time when, I mean, I relied on Joann's a lot for craft supplies. I mean, I definitely did. So let's get some blush pink out for some cheeks. And like I said, I went ahead and shaded around 3 of the edges, but we're going to get some espresso out. We probably need some white and some Georgia clay. We need some noses, and then we'll put black out when it's time because I want to make sure it's good and fresh to dot with. So, let's do some cheeks first of all. And let me get a good brush for that. So, Stencil Smith brushes to the rescue. They are the best, and they make great cheeks too because they just have a really soft touch to them. Unlike so many other stencil brushes, like they're so stiff and hard, which that's really what I used to think that you really needed. And these are so soft, and they're just really, they just stencil so well. So I'm trying to rub off a good bit of that paint. So I hope, I've had some trouble with my phone this afternoon, this evening, loading stuff. So I told Mark, oh, I hope it's not going to act up again tonight, which is why I went ahead and did some things to save on time, but I hope it doesn't. It's just really breezy out. So I'm just, of course, giving them all a little blushing here on each one. And then we'll put the nose on. So if you watched the other night, you saw where I said that I hacked up my stencil and cut it all up because I wanted it to fit this. This is from Hobby Lobby, and it's from the wood pile. And so it was $7.49. I don't usually buy pieces like this. I find sometimes the quality isn't great, and I've used pieces and had the wood warp and stuff on me, but this one's in a frame, and I thought, you know, it shouldn't warp or anything, and I thought it was really cute. So it was 40% off $7.49, and I thought that'll be perfect for the stencil. And then my stencil was a little bit too wide, so I just cut it up, and I can't say that I've ever mutilated one of my stencils before, but I'm okay with it. So let's put some noses on. So this is pretty orange. A lot of times I like to use red spice or something like that, cinnamon stick, but I had Georgia clay out, and I thought, well, by the time I get it shaded, it will be fine. So I put a link in there in the description box that should be showing up, which is a project sheet for this, and anything that's underlined on that will be a clickable link, so that should be helpful for you. And I don't know if I put on there or not, but if you use the code Being Creative with, well, no, actually, if you use the code Being Creative with Miss, you can always get 15% off. But I think she has a sale going right now. So actually, you could just click on any of those that link in the on that project sheet in Linktree. I cannot talk. And it'll take you there, and then I think the sale's still going on. I'm not positive. But she'll have a code there for that sale. I think I moved that. I hope not. Anyway, this looks like bright orange, but we are going to shade it, and it'll be fine by the time we're done. It will be fine. I know this is kind of late for a snowman project, but I still wanted to get it in because I had told you all about the stencil, and I just really, really like it. And I still wanted to go ahead and do one last hurrah, and then it was funny because it snowed so much this week. We've had an interesting weather week, that is for sure, as many of you have had it even worse, I think. So I'm just going to go back to my paper towel and pick up some paint instead of going back into the paint. Now I'm going to go into the paint. So now I'm going to add a little bit of brown to it. And I'm just going to add some brown on my stencil brush and then kind of work that off on top of that orange. So it just makes a darker value. Then I'm just going to tap along the end there. Actually, it should have been back here. So my darkest should be back that side, but and then we'll do some white too. So we'll just kind of shade it with the stencil on there, like I did that on some of the hats and scarves and the stick arms on Thursday night, and that's a really easy way to add some shading, and then you don't have to float it. So that's kind of a easy way to do that. So I'm going to take some white now and work that off real good. And then I'm just going to kind of go along the top area. I'm just going to smudge in a little bit of white for some highlights. You can also dry brush it a little bit too if you want. And if you want to add some more brown, you can certainly do that. So that's why I wasn't worried about it looking too bright orange, because I do not like bright orange noses. You all know that. I just moved this whole thing. I was trying to fix it and then I moved it. Hang on. Let me pick it up there. Let me line it back up. I'm trying to keep my head out of the camera. Okay, so I'm just going to go in with some brown again. Tap around on it. And then our noses should be good. So we're not going to do the string or anything because we're going to actually use jute on it and really make it look 3D. So just like that, they have a face and some noses. So I think we need to add the pom-poms. Now, you can, I stenciled the pom-poms on this one. So I just put those on there. But you can absolutely use a pom-pom, like a real pom-pom if you want to. I didn't know really what to do on this one. I didn't know if I should make it a little bit different. I also have some smaller pom-poms. Maybe a smaller one would be better. But once I glued it, I kind of push it down. So they look big and sticking up right now. I'm going to take a stencil brush and get in the blush pink. And we need to add some hearts. That was also on this stencil. So tell me while I'm doing this what you think. If you think I should just stencil the pom-poms, or do you like the real ones on it? I have some smaller ones over here too that we could also try. So tell me what you think. Pom-poms? You like the pom-poms? I kind of like it because we have the 3D, the banner's 3D, and then you can kind of, I can't stencil for the stupid pom-poms. They're in the way. Okay. So let me see. I like to make a little tab on my stencils so I can pick them back up. I have an awful time, so sometimes I just add tape and make a little tab so then I can lift it up without having to claw at it. Okay. So I think that's it on that. I think we have, oh, the heart on the hat. I was thinking that's all I had, and then I realized that's not all we had. Yeah, I could texture it. Although it said real. I think I should have textured, if I was going to stencil it. I did glitter them on that, but I did not texture it. But I do that a lot, so I'm surprised that I did not do that. Okay, so we'll do the The real pom-poms. Okay, so now we need to do a little shading. So I need my cardinal red because we're going to shade a little on the pink parts. And I think we got all of our shading for the most part on the red, I believe. So I am going to get a little bit of white. I'm going to get a baby white to do this with. I am going to just kind of take this across, kind of just making a hat, like a line across that hat brim. And you can add any highlights that you want, but we can take care of most of it with our dry brushing, and it shows up the best, I think. But you can throw in some here and there if you would like. The details are always so much fun because it just makes everything pop so nicely. So we'll dry brush that, and let's see. I think we have everything else. I think, for the most part. We'll have to dry brush that. Get that all laid in right. Yeah, I think we have it all. Okay. I was trying to see if the noses need any work at all. We can run a little bit if you want. Put some out on that end. This board, I said about, I worry sometimes about the quality and don't always use them, but this board has been really good to paint on. I think it's neat. I just stained it with a baby white, ran it, really, I did this first, and then I ran the baby white, kind of wetted it down a little more, and then just saturated it and took it across the beads, and it was super quick to do. All right, we have not, or I have not, shaded around this end snowman. I am going to wipe him a little bit so my paint moves better. And so you just go right along the edges is all you're doing. Just smooth it down with your finger where you need to. And I'm not going to go around the bottom because I'm going to scuff a paintbrush across there, and you really won't see that anyway. So I did that on my original sample, and I didn't need to, so I'm just going to skip that part. Add a little bit, oops, more paint. Okay, and you can add a little bit of shadowing underneath that scarf. And then underneath the hat brim a little bit. And then the other place I added a little bit was kind of like where that stick would be stuck in his arm. I just kind of added that. I did that all across here, you can see. But you don't have to do that if you don't want. Okay, and now we also need to get some black out. And I am going to take like a dot of black and then some red. Try to get a little bit of a darker color because we need that for our scarf. So let's get a little bit. And I'm going to run it just right along the top of that. We kind of shaded those with the stencil brush the other night, but I need to add some more division in the scarf So that's kind of why I'm throwing some more in there. I totally missed the scarf on that one. So I want this scarf to kind of come down. Then I want to take that across like that. Let's see, over here I think we have most of it. Just scoot this a little bit along there. Let's see. We need to come down this way. All right, I put some mouths on my snowman, and you don't have to do that. You can leave them without a mouth. Sorry, I got out on there again. And you can choose different ways to do the mouth if you decide that you do want to do a mouth, but you don't have to at all. Sorry, I had that and then went out of my line there and messed it up. I'm just throwing paintbrushes. I'm going to take a little bit of white in there and fix that. Or at least that's what I think I'm going to do. Hopefully it fixes it. So I'll probably just do the same mouths that I did on the other ones just because I liked how that looked. So I'm still attempting to fix this because I messed it up. Hold for a second here while I fix this. There we go. I just kind of went up out of the way there and it looked kind of goofy. And we'll shade with red, or this cardinal red on the pink. You could also, if you didn't want to use red, you could kind of kick out and kind of use like a gray or something. But I liked how the red looked on the pink when it got shaded. I just liked how it looked. So, but you can definitely choose something different if you don't like it. But I thought it blended well with the red. It looks pretty when you get it on there. Now, I will say that on this hat, I kept going, I was stumped, like I didn't know whether to come across the ears or go down. So I looked up some pictures of it, and some went across, some went down. So I don't know. So I ended up kind of making mine. I wasn't sure. So I just took it across the ear pieces. But we'll dry brush, and oh, we have to put that little design on the top. But we'll dry brush that as well. So I'm also going to go up around. I'll put some white on that other side. So that's just a little area, so you can kind of just scuff it in down here, and then we'll use a micron pen to add some stuff to those little pom-pom things on the edge. So even though I want that more white over there, I do want a little bit of that darker color on it. I'm just trying to make the pink show up better. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anything. Yep, here it is. I was like, what did I do with that? So we need to put this on the top of the hat area. Okay, so I'm going to get my white stencil brush here. And I'm just going to swirl that in. So I'm not doing the, like normally I would do the pom-pom if I was going to do that. And I probably would add modeling paste if I was just, you know, adding, just stenciling on. But we're going to use the real pom-poms this time. And I think that will be cute. So, alrighty. We are flying right along. Let's see, we need eyes. So I need a dotting tool. And we will put some eyes on them. I might have had too big of a dot there, so I'm going to switch to a smaller one. I love putting eyes because it makes them like, yeah, they're coming to life, so to speak. So I like to set it down and just move it up and down so it's more, instead of it's like a round dot, it's more, ends up to be more like, kind of like an oval. Okay, cute, cute. Let's dry those real quick. And then I'm going to take my little micron pen, which is 005. This is what I'm going to use. And we can add the little eyebrow, little scant eyebrow over top. And then you can either use your liner to do their mouth, or you can use the micron pen. I usually used to prefer a liner, but a liner, but now I don't. It doesn't bother me to use a pen. This one we can do dots if you want, and this one is I just did X's. So I just kind of used what I always use typically for a snowman mouths. And I just kind of tried to mix it up. But I left him without one. And I don't know if that was a good idea or not. But I did. I left him without and gave all the rest of him a mouth. So you can use your pen to dot this one. Or you can just use your... I'm just using the smallest dot on my little dotting tool. And just like that, they've got mouths. So let's go ahead and add a little dot in the upper right hand corner of their eye. I'm going to turn over some paint here because that was kind of getting a little bit dried out. So you can use that little smallest part of the dotting tool or just the tip of your brush. What a difference the white dot makes. There we go. Okay. We're going to take, well, I've got the liner and then the white. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to kind of just go down across, or not go down, go across the little hat cuff here. Almost like I'm making it like it's ribbed, but it's kind of scant, but you can definitely see it. And then you can do the same thing over here, or you can could also use like a real scant red to do it if you didn't want it to be white, but it turns out really scant, so I think it's fine to do it that way. I'm going to run a little bit of white down that side and a little bit down in here. And then I'm going to put some little highlight marks on my red hearts. And while I have this liner out, I'm also going to skim along a few places on my stick arm. So just kind of, I'm just picking up a little bit and kind of twisting as I'm coming out. And then just kind of add some lines here and there. Just some neat details for his arms. Okay. And then we're going to get this little this is small dry brush. It's a number 6 in your set. And I'm going to just kind of go across this hat brim. We're going to go across the scarf. Just kind of slide it across a little bit here and there without messing up your hearts. You can go across your hat band on that one, and then the same here. Just kind of like you're following the material on that scarf. And then on this one, I'm going to go across the top and bottom just to soften that. Just go and make it a little heavier on the one side. And then take it across that and down. And then we'll line all this with our micron pen. So, and you can touch it up anywhere you want. With your dry brush, you can hit any place you want that you feel like it needs hit, I guess. So, anyway, so let's get our pen again. And I'm going to dry this real quick. And I'm doing my pen last because I don't want to end up smearing it or anything like that. One last thing is I'm going to take just a little bit of this marigold and tap right on the beak of my cardinal. Just a small little bit. You don't really have to do this because he's pretty tiny, but I like to add that little yellow on his beak, or gold, I guess. So, I mean, you don't have to be super precise, just kind of tap it in there. And it just adds a little bit. All right. So now we'll add, take our micron pen and add some stuff. So we will do that. So as always, this will kind of make it stand out a little more, as you'll see. And I'm not going to go across the bottom again because I'm going to run some white across that. So scarf, the same thing. I'm just kind of just lining it out. And then it'll also help the nose as well. And I'm going to put some real scant, well, I said real scant, and then it went much darker than I thought. But so you're basically just doing that all around him, wherever you see fit. This, the 00, oh, that's why I kept saying this is writing so thick. I was like, the 005. It's not. I picked up the wrong one. I kept thinking, man, it's making a thick line. That's what I thought on that nose. Oh, that's better. Good night. Yeah, there we go. Definitely it makes a difference. Since he didn't have a scarf, I kind of shaded, floated there under his neckline. And then I kind of gave him a little I think the snowman's cute with his little earmuffs. Oh, I hate that that was the wrong pen on that first one, but probably no one will ever really know. Alright, so we'll go down this thing. Down him. Love the details. They're fun. And I thought the pen really brought out the details in his hat. This one's hat too. Okay. So just kind of doing around. And then I kind of made some marks down in that little pom-pom thing. And then we do his nose, and I think we're done. And we'll get to the banner because it's really fun. All right. Oh, I didn't do any on the bird. I don't think I did all of it on the other one. I just put some marks here and there. Okay. Let me show it up close. So then I took, I'm just going to take like a, you know, let me think if this is the one I want to use or if it's kind of big. So I'm just going to take, this is a 10 flat dry brush, but I'm going to put some white on it, and I'm just going to kind of come over here and just kind of scuff that in. And it's real easy. Then you just kind of, you can bring it up a little bit and then across, but I didn't actually want it on the frame, but I'm sure doing it. And then I'll go back over it because it'll kind of dry a little bit, transparent. But that's all I did, is I just scuffed some along, and I liked how it looked. So let me dry it so I can re-scuff again without taking the paint off. You could also, and I even thought about doing this on the other one, and then I didn't end up doing it. I just scuffed it on. But you could also add a little bit of modeling paste to it, and just make it a little bit thicker, and you would have some ridges raised up, which I think would look really cute too. But I ended up just scuffing it in, just the paint. So. That's all I did for the bottom of it. I'm going to raise that up a little bit so it doesn't look so flat. And I think that will, to wipe off the frame again, pretty much give us what we want. I might have to go back and hit that with brown again. Well, I can fix that after. That's an easy fix. But anyway, so that's how it looks after you scuff that white on it. Just makes them look like they're sitting down on the snow. So while we're working on the banner, this can be drying. I'll go ahead and add some snowflakes. I took, it just has dots on the snowflake. I did add a few, just kind of like this. Just this kind of a snowflake. I added a few of these here and there, which is just, and sometimes they fade out and you have to go back over them, but I'm just doing just a few of these, and then we'll dot these and add some just plain dots. And then when you spatter it, that looks really nice too, because it kind of just finishes it off and makes it have a really good look. So I'm just adding a few of these. So okay, so now the round dots are on the stencil, so you can see where some of them are showing up on the stencil. But you can stencil those in, or you can also go back and add some more. I'm just going to dot over those ones that I had already stenciled, and then I'm just adding other ones because I just liked how that looked. And like I said, it will get spattered too, so that's always fun. But definitely fun to add the snowflakes. I'm going to also dot the middle of the ones I made. There we go. So we're just adding a few here and there as I just keep dotting everywhere. So anyway, those are fun. Is that good? All right, so while those are drying, I'm going to show you how to do the banner real quick, and I'll show you how to do the string so you can maneuver it and manipulate it the way you want. So just take your stencil with your banner on it, and this is just duck cloth. So we're just going to use the duck cloth, and I'm just using a sponge and some brown espresso paint and black paint is what we're going to do that with. I wanted to go ahead and hit those with the dryer so they can speed up. So I did 3 of them just to keep things shortened tonight. So I left the last one to do, and it's so simple. I love painting on duck cloth or those canvas bags. I loved, we've done that a lot. I haven't done a canvas bag in a while, and I have some bigger ones that I bought last summer and used them in for some summer stuff and fall stuff, and then haven't done anymore. But I really, really like to paint on canvas. It's so fun. Okay, so I'm just going to take my sponge, and I'm going to dip it in the espresso, and then I'm going to put a little bit of fresh black out. That was probably too much. And I don't know if you can see on mine, but I definitely like to add a little bit of color variations to just making them straight black. I like to use some black on the edges so you can see how it's darker, and you'll see more when I do this one. So of course you don't have to space them out like this to save on material. You can go right next to it, but I laid them down and did it like this just so you could see how it was going across, and just stenciling them. So the canvas is pretty forgiving too. It doesn't even matter if you get outside of the line, or, you know, if it bleeds underneath or anything, because when we cut them out, it'll just cut right off. You know, you'll just cut off that extra excess if you got any out, so you don't even have to worry about it. But see, that's pretty, see how that's really brown? Oops, I'm sorry. I looked up and I'm like, you can't even see what I'm doing. I'm sorry. So see how that's really brown, and you can see where I tapped the black and brown mix in with that. So it just makes them look, I think, better. It's just like they're shaded somewhat. But it's really easy to do these on the canvas. And it's just fun to add that 3D effect. So now I just came in with, and now I'm in that, some black with some brown. I'm going to go back in the brown and just kind of tap off some. And then I'm just going to go right along this right edge. And then down that point, and a little bit across the top. A little bit down on that point. But I'm just trying to darken it to give, you know, like some dimension and shading on it. And I just like how that looks a lot. Just kind of tap it in there, and then when you pick it up, you can see how it kind of darkened it, and it makes it look really neat. So let's give that a quick dry, and then we will stencil the E on there. So you can just line it right up in the middle, and just use your white stencil brush to do that. Let me get mine over here. So super simple to do it. And then we'll use our sponge to coat our edges after we cut it out, so it doesn't look like it has that raw edge. And if you bleed out a little bit on your letter, you can just tap some brown back in around it. It's not really very fussy to do it. Okay, so I'm going to, if you see on this one, like I used my liner to make some little lines right up the sides. So I'm on the right side of it. I'm just putting some little lines and then just kind of go across. So that's all you have to do on that. And rinse our brush. So now we'll cut them out real quick. You can see how the edges kind of look raw. Can you leave it like that? Yep, you can. I just kind of like to go along mine and just, the sponge has already got paint in it, and you can just go right along it really quick and just touch up the edges. You can do the back even if you want. I probably should this one since I have blue on one of them. But I thought I had enough paint on it, but yeah, that's just super quick to do that. And it just takes that raw edge off of it. Got that one. Yeah, and if you can, sometimes I have done the backs before if I want it really stiff. I'm just doing this back because I'm covering up the blue that I got on there miraculously. But I forget what project that was on, and we used the blue. Who knows? So I'm just smudging this on here just so it'll match the other ones and won't look funny if one's got brown on the back. Oops. Okay, so I think I have my hot glue gun plugged in. You can use hot glue, or you can use like tacky glue or something comparable to that. But I'm going to take some thin jute like this. Okay, so I took a thin, this is like thinner jute, and I just cut a piece comparable to what I thought I would use. So kind of just strung it along there. So I think that'll be enough. I'll have to trim it some more, but for right now, I think that'll be good. Okay, so I just use, you can use, like I said, that Arlene's tacky glue. And if you don't want to get your hands dirty, you can use gloves, but I don't care. My hands are always painty and whatever. So I just put a little bit of water in that, and I'm going to run that string, just take it and run my hand in it, and I'm just getting it kind of coated with that, and then that's going to make it be kind of pliable, or let me manipulate it, I guess that's how I should say it. Like, I can manipulate it how I want it. So that's how I got, like, the ends of the other one to curl up and stuff. I just did it that way. And it kind of takes some of your fuzzies down too, but it's mostly just to make me be able to manipulate it well. I keep forgetting, I'm getting out of frame all the time. And we didn't spatter him. I really need to spatter it. Okay, so over here, I'm going to start with this end, and I want it curled up a little bit. So I'm going to take my end and kind of just curl it up and around. And just kind of hold it there. And you can, like, this has a little funny place on the end. So I'm going to cut that off. And then I'm going to put, you can, like I said, you can use a little bit of hot glue, or you can use, like I have diamond, well, not diamond, art glitter. Why did I say diamond? I don't know. I can't get my end to cooperate here with me for some reason. It keeps wanting to fray on me, and I don't know why. Okay, so I want this to kind of come up right there. So I am going to put just a dot of glue, and you can kind of see on the stencil how he's holding that. And I'm going to have to cut this off, and I can't get my end to quit fraying, so I'm just going to cut it off. That's what I do when my hair's sticking out and not cooperating. I just cut it off. I have a hair appointment tomorrow, and I did not write down the time. I don't even know what time I'm supposed to be there. But I am glad to get a haircut. Okay. So, I'm just kind of holding that a minute. It keeps sticking to my finger. So, he's going to hold that, and you can stick a little bit of glue on there. It's really simple to do. I feel like, for some reason, I'm struggling, and I have no idea why, because it's super simple. I really had fun doing it, and just buzzed right along with it. But we're going to kind of run this along. We kind of want to droop it down. And so I'm going to get to about right here, and that's kind of where I want my L to be. So I just kind of try to gauge how I want it. And you can use, like I said before, you can use hot glue, or you can use like the tacky glue. That works just as well. But you're just adding that right to the top of it. That's really easy. And so we'll probably put a spot of glue right there too. And then just continue across. So I want that to stay about right there. So we will add a little bit of glue under there. But you can kind of make it go up and down as you go across it. And just get all your stuff added. So you can see that kind of curves. Because it's kind of, because you didn't really want it to look totally straight, I guess. So you put that one there. And then we also add some glitter on these when we get done, of course. So I'm going to tack that down a little bit. Come back across. And I can go, now I pretty much know where my stuff's going to go. I'm going to trim those fuzzies off. And I can attach some places here. But that glue gun is such a fine little tip that it goes right down on it, and you don't see the glue. I hate to see glue gun stuff, so I definitely don't like that. Okay, and then this one attaches right up here to the hand. And also, if you would have a little bit of glue and you can't pick it off, another great thing is when you glitter over it, that works out great because the glitter will hide it too. So that kind of helps. So, but we'll twirl that up as well. So now let's add the V. So we want it about right there. And then the E. But it's super cute. That 3D effect looks really, really cute on it. And you can hit it with your dryer to get any of your glue strings off. And then over here, I want to curl that a little bit. I should have done it earlier while it was all wet. My fingers have glue on it, and I keep picking up extra thread there. Let me trim it off. All right. Just go up and kind of attach that to the board. I have the hardest time with that little jigger. I don't know why. It keeps fraying on me. And I should have pinched it better when I first got it. When I put the glue on it, and I didn't. So, but anyway, we'll top some glue on it, or glitter on it, and it'll be fine. So there we have our little banner. I'm gonna put a little bit of brown. That wasn't so stark, but I don't know. I'm going to put my pom-pom up there and kind of push it down. So it'll be fine. I'll try to squish it down some more. Oh, lots of glue strings. Anyway, I think he's such a cute little project. So the last thing we have to do is our glue and our spatter, and then it is all done. I think it's just super cute. I just love its little banner. I think it looks really cute. So I just rolled my toothbrush in black paint. So I gotta get a different one. So I like to wet the toothbrush and then just swirl it around. You don't want it too soupy. And I also got my black, and I'm trying not to get my toothbrush in that. Always a disaster over here. So the spatter just looks so much better. I'm going to end up spattering the frame, which is fine. But you get to spatter a little bit on the banner. I do like this frame with a little spatter on it. But just like the hat and stuff, it just makes stuff look better. Looks all snowy, and I'm trying to get the pink hat there. I'm going to get the scarf. The only thing I always try to watch is like the eyes and stuff, and well, there's a little smudge. So like there's a little spatter that added or landed right there on his eye, and I just will tap it off because I don't want confusion with the dot in his eye or anything. But I like to make sure it gets like on the hat and the scarves and all that, and I'm putting it on the edges. All right, so let's add some glitter and we'll be done with this guy. So I'm just going to take some matte Mod Podge as usual and get my glitter here. Get my glitter tray ready. All right, so I have my rock candy glitter, which does a really good job. So I'm going to tap along just like where some of my highlighting is. I'm putting some on the jute string because it looks really nice. And I also said, like, if you need to hide any glue, if you feel like you got glue on something, that's a great way to kind of hide it. So we all definitely want it on the pom-pom. That will look nice when it dries. So I'm getting clear down on the sides, not just on the front, like up on the top and on the sides. And I want to put a little bit of glitter in those places. So I'm going to go ahead and glitter or sprinkle those while they're good and wet, so my glue doesn't dry. And you can kind of come down and hit the edges of your banner across the top, and just keep scooting it along anywhere that you think would make a good little highlight or something. And this glitter I like because you can actually use it on painted stuff, where my glass glitter you really can't. It just doesn't look as good when it dries on wood. It just doesn't. But it looks great on fabric and I love it. But it doesn't look as good on bare wood. All right. So I really want to make sure these pom-poms get covered well. And I want a little bit across there. And then I want to make sure I get up here and kind of along that line. And then we'll sprinkle it all up. And when it dries, of course, that glue will dry white or clear, and it won't be white anymore. And it'll look quite snazzy. But there he is. So there's that one. And there's that one. I mean, they're just alike, but different frames. Let me get that down. There we go. So, but I like how I love that little beaded thing on top. I think that's really cute. So I just stained the back, and there it's all ready to go. But I definitely like the jute, and I just think it looks cute. And again, if you don't like him without a mouth, you can add whatever. There is closer if you see it. So, all right. Well, I will let you all go, and I hope you enjoyed that. And we are moving full speed ahead to spring. So, that's really fun. It's like exciting when you feel like it's 30 some days till spring, but it's exciting. As much as I love snowmen, it's so fun to switch gears and start those spring projects. And bunnies are just cute, and chicks, and just all the colors, the soft pastel colors, and it's just fun. It feels kind of refreshing, I guess, to dive into those projects. So that's definitely where we're headed here on out. I've got adorable, I've had them done for several weeks, lots of weeks, Easter printables that are really cute. We have some really cute Easter projects that, or stencil projects, that Easter stencil projects, and some wood things. So, I think that's really gonna be fun to dive into that. So this is our last snowman project. So we probably won't do any more snowmen till Christmas in July. So this is our last hurrah. So I appreciate you joining me, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, just pop it in for me, or pop in a question, and or send it to me, and I will do my best to answer it. All right. So thank you again, and I hope you have a good evening and stay warm.